I was trying to get on. Okay.
Hello, and welcome to the Diva Days of Our Lives podcast. I am Carrie. You can find me on Twitter at Diva of DOOL, and there's Anna. I'll bring her on. She's only a couple seconds late. That's not too bad.
Hey, Anna.
Hello there.
Hey.
It was
Hello.
really slow trying to get in.
Oh, that's weird.
So, Carrie, are you in a courthouse?
Yes, I am.
I like that theme. Very cool. Very good theme.
Yes. The blog, divaofdool.com, and YouTube, it's Diva of DOOL and a bunch of numbers. I can't remember. Facebook, Diva Days of Our Lives, and Instagram, diva_of_DOOL. So that's all our social medias. Or you can go to divaofdool.com on your phone, and on the left menu has all the social media buttons. Alrighty, so we have Miss Jen here today.
Hey, I'm at RXJDK at Twitter.
And we have Marianne at the beach.
Yes. Hi. I'm Marianne. You can find me at mama_hooch on Twitter. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram.
And Anna's still in the Witless Protection Program.
Yes, I will be for a long, long time. I was a very bad person who turned on another very bad person. So therefore, of course, I have to be in a Witless Protection Program. I'm just kidding.
She's got the one from the Demiras.
That's right. That's right. I don't want them to find me. Anyway, you can find me at Kazi Hooch and on X and on Instagram.
All right. Anna, did you watch all this week?
I did.
Yay!
I actually managed to finish the Friday episode about 5 minutes before the show.
So you're all fresh then to do the Kate update then?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, from what I recall, she was only on one day. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I absolutely loved how stunning she looked in her office, high level C-suite look, and with Kate's touch, of course. And Roman with his suit on, which I don't know how many times I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
He
But
cleaned
anyway,
up good.
yeah. So they look very cute together. They needed to go out on a date rather than to go to the courthouse and her put on an apron. But anyway, so they did kiss, though. That was really sweet. But yeah, she looked great. He looked great. So she came home from her job, the office at Titan, and he was headed over to the trial because he was going to have to. He was one of the first witnesses or people to testify or whatever. And she started to put on an apron, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "This is a family business, and we're family. I'm gonna help run the place, especially after Doug Williams ran off, and he's like, you don't have to do that, Katie. I have other folks here that can help. And she's like, no, I'm gonna do it. So she looked kind of. It was funny because she had she still had her beautiful outfit on, and then she was also waiting tables. I kept thinking her scarf's gonna end up in the food. But anyway, made me a little nervous, but I'm sure Kate handled it in an amazing fashion. Anyway, no pun intended. So let's see. And then I have to say, I never liked John Paul Lavoisier in this role up until this last year or however long he's been on. I just love that man now. I just love him. I love his sense of humor. I love his spiciness. I just love the
facial expressions.
A new take. I feel like he's actually being able to do his. I don't know what the story was before, if it was the writing or what, but I just love him, and I just think he's awesome. So anyway, so Philip shows up, and they have he's like, do you mind if I hang out with you since you're working? She's like, no, sure. What would have a seat. And so they sit down and they're kind of talking, and let's see, I think they were talking about the manuscript or something. So he didn't know who wrote it, or he wanted to know who wrote it. He says, I highly doubt that there's really that Anastasia Sands actually exists. Kate's like, well, I can't say anything. And, he's like, do I need to remind you who your boss is? I'm your boss. So, and so I can't remember. She was they kind of played coy with each other, and she's, I can't tell you. And she's like, I promise not to, it's confidential. And he kept pushing. And then at one point, didn't he just say, I have my suspicions based on, I don't know if it was based on some of the content that he had read or the promo stuff that had gone out, but he said, it wouldn't happen to be Stephanie Johnson, would it? or something like that. Or I already know. So how did he say it? I already know who it is. Is it Stephanie Johnson or something? She's like, so, and I can't remember where'd that go from there. Like she basically said, you can't say a word, right? Or
Yep.
Right.
something like that. You cannot breathe a word of this. But of course, he was in a relationship with her at one point. So I think what's going to happen is this book's going to go out, and all her exes are going to figure out that, she's the author. The
And
EJ will
that's quite a
probably
lot.
fire. When he first hired her, I was like, oh, great. There's going to be a big PR disaster when everyone finds out that the sweet little PR lady girl at Salem University Hospital is actually a dirty porn writer, whatever. So I see this coming a mile away. EJ is going to either use that as leverage, or he's going to fire her and he's going to upset Kayla. I don't know. Anyway, so they had that talk. I'm trying to think. What else did anything else happen with them? I'm trying to think how.
Kate mentioned her book and talking about
Oh,
Curtis and Bill
oh,
Horton.
yes. And some of that Philip didn't know. What part did he was
That was
surprised that,
Curtis.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did he know that Jack had stolen her or taken it, or was it? That's right. He used that as she said, this is an example of what can happen. I don't want that to happen to Stephanie. I don't want anything. But I'm trying to think. But it kind of gave a little back history about Kate and how the book was that she wrote was about her affair with Bill Horton, and that Lucas was the product of that affair, if you will. And thank you for reminding me, because I was like, I know there's another part to this. And so Philip's just like, wow, I didn't know. She said, I guess when was talking about, now did she kill Curtis, or did
No,
somebody?
I think Billy did.
I think it was
Okay,
Billy. Yeah.
Billy. Oh wait, oh Billy the girl. Yeah, his daughter. Okay, yeah. So anyway, so they just kind of discussed some more history, but that I like it that they're bringing up some of the history, whether it's because I don't know if some of this happened when these ladies were writing before, or on the writing team, or had writers before for the show, but I love it that they're actually reaching back with various characters and filling in some of the gaps for people who might not know a lot of that. And so I think they just left it that he better not say a word. So of course he's going to say a word. We know that. Somehow somebody's going to figure it out. They'll be whispering on the town square with each other. You still haven't told anybody that the book is written by Stephanie Johnson, right, Philip? And Xander will be in the bushes listening or something. I don't know.
Well, I think
Anyway,
Philip's going to tease Stephanie about it.
yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's very much in the teasy mode right now. So and then yeah, so that's what I remember of Kate's appearances this week.
So, and I don't want to say I hate the storyline, but she's not the right character for it.
No.
Yeah.
Who's not?
Someone,
Stephanie?
yeah. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think she's the right character. As someone who's actually watched Sex and the City all the way through recently, Samantha Jones, basically the biggest slut on the show, her job was in PR.
Mhm.
Well,
And she was,
Stephanie's about the biggest slut on the show.
Yeah.
but she's acting like Charlotte York. That's what,
Yeah. But she's
I don't watch
really
Sex and
Samantha.
she's really Samantha, but
Yeah,
she's pretending to be Charlotte.
and she's
So
working on a
yeah,
new book too, right?
right.
A murder
And
mystery.
that one was a murder mystery.
I know. Does that mean we're going to have one now?
But that's the thing, because my brain started going this week. We all know how much Anna loved the Touch the Thighs storyline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
some history is not worth revisiting with
Yeah.
Jeremy Horton.
I mentioned Jeremy Horton.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do not bring him back, please.
please. Or not that.
Ashley,
That
Or not.
Ashley,
to
yeah,
me, they destroyed Mike, and I did not really know about Robin through Jeremy.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I
So
remember the Mike and Robin story, kind of, some of it.
I
I
don't
do
remember
Mike.
Robin too much, but I remember Mike.
Yeah,
And the thing is, though, with that
that was Michael
storyline
Weiss.
was Stephanie got date raped. She was drugged and raped in college, I believe. And Chelsea was involved, and Nick was involved. And I remember, I can't remember how, but
Uncle Max was involved.
oh,
Yeah.
Max, of course, yeah. And the rapist ended up dead, and then they hauled his body out inside of a hot water heater.
Yeah.
Remember? So that's the only thing I remember about that storyline. And they could have revisited the rape part of the storyline just fine, but I don't know if she's going to make that storyline into the theme of her second book. But that's awkward though, because like none of the other characters are on the show. You don't have Max. Nick's dead.
Is that the passage she didn't want in? Do you think?
And that was
The passage was about Jeremy Horton.
Yeah.
Jeremy
Yeah.
Horton.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, and I used to call that one. It was merged in with Touch My Thighs airline storyline, but in a way, that summer I think
That was
it was all god awful. But I called it the hide the dead rapist in the water heater.
and that was a different Stephanie too at the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a dumb one.
Heading. Yeah.
No offense to the actress, but she was dumb.
Still is
She's
dumb.
Yeah.
She's doing well. She's still
That is
acting.
not Steve and Kayla's daughter.
No.
Right? Really.
Yeah, that was weird, but you had Stephanie as a race car driver. Then Hogan Sheffer, I believe, became the head writer, and she turned into a flight attendant.
Yeah.
And then
Stupid.
two young men were the pilots, and it was just so sexist and gross, and Hogan Sheffer didn't really get that. I remember when I think it was Julie, or maybe it was Alice, one of them broke Jeremy's Christmas ornament.
Yeah.
They made like a snarky comment when it broke.
No, I remember they were doing the short shorts kind of thing on the airplane, I think, as the flight. And then it was supposed to be like Salem to Vegas. And then when they would get there, they'd all stay in the same place and be in the hot tub. I remember that too. And I was just like, this is just excruciating. And I think wasn't that by that time, wasn't it Chunkle, Chelsea and her uncle that were dating?
Yeah.
I came up with that one on the boards, the Sony boards, and the
Yeah.
everything. But yeah, those were not good times. We don't need to revisit those.
No.
No. No.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan of Alex and Stephanie, but I don't think bringing Jeremy Horton back is what they need in that storyline. It's only going to make it worse.
Yeah.
What do you think he's going to be like a stalker, like stalkerish?
Going to be like the bad guy, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No,
I mean,
they were going to bring
Bad
back a
Horton.
Horton. They should bring back Mark Hapka as Nathaniel Horton or something, but not Jeremy.
Not
No.
Jeremy.
I hope it's not the same actor either. I hope it's somebody else.
I know. He's gone on to he stars on, or he did star on something else. But I just literally cringe
Yep.
when I think of him because he was so awful. I mean, not saying anything against the actor, but the character was so awful that I just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the writing was terrible.
I'm guessing the Mile High Club was also probably in her book then, if Jeremy is involved. Like, who's flying the plane?
Yeah.
But if you're writing a book and you're basing it on your own experiences, but you're selling it as fiction, wouldn't you change it a bit more?
You would think.
I mean, so far Philip has recognized himself, and we're assuming Jeremy recognized himself. She's not doing a good. I mean, basically, it sounds like Dear Diary. She just published her sex diary.
It was kind of dumb when Alex was like, "Do you think he's into romance novels?" Or and that's not the point. We all know that one paragraph is going to be the one paragraph that goes viral, and that's what's going to set off the book to success. And that quote's going to be everywhere.
Everywhere.
That Jeremy, whether he read, I'm not even convinced he can read, but one of his friends is going to call and say, "Hey, Jeremy, I know you can't read, but this story sounds a lot like you and what you told me about that girl in Salem." Anyway.
Yep. I'm not looking forward to this one at all.
Ugh.
And then while we're on the subject of Alex for a minute, so then Steve finds out that when we're talking about him, Steve finds out that Alex made a mistake and got charged with some stuff when he was a kid, and
he didn't say what though, huh?
Thinking, like he didn't say what.
Yeah.
Right.
So why'd they bring that up?
Yeah, that's weird. Is that just going to be like an obstacle?
What was the point?
Obstacle?
Yeah. Because he says he's not going to tell Stephanie.
Is this going to be like a crack in the relationship, and then Jeremy comes back into town?
Yeah.
Well, and Patch made the point that wasn't it didn't he mention something about the boyfriend that abused her or something?
Yep.
So
Yeah, kind of brought that
So
up.
I'm
Yes.
on.
Yeah, but Steve was telling Kayla about it. He said he couldn't figure out what the conviction was for, but Alex pled guilty. So I'm assuming maybe he was a minor and they had it sealed.
He
So
said he
I don't
talked to
know.
Justin about it.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
Justin said it was, I don't know, cleared or something, and he straightened himself out, or it was when he was
Sure.
younger, something like that.
Yeah, so where is Wally? What the hell's going on?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Wally.
It's on General
Because-
Hospital, I guess.
Yep.
But Justin's supposed to be representing Sarah in the divorce. We haven't seen him.
Right. They keep talking about him, but we never see him. Well, I have to talk to Justin about this. I have to talk to
Yeah.
Justin. But you never see them talking to Justin.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I did see the spoiler for this coming week. I guess Steve confronts Alex about.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna figure something out here this week of what's going on. So, Marianne, you want to talk to us about what Tony was up to this week?
Tony was, oh, okay. Which one was this week? The week with the yellow jacket?
Yeah.
It was
It
a
was so
choice.
funny.
It was a choice.
When I saw you said that they're over on, I guess we could say whatever they say, it's out there, that they're
Mhm.
calling Tony what, Colonel Mustard? Because of
Yeah.
his yellow jacket. I have to laugh.
That's cute.
Yeah. But my husband, he's walking in, he's there. Nice robe. He thought it was a robe. I'm there. No, it's a jacket. I said, I'll have to tell Teo that one. Yeah. But anyway, he was talking to Gabi. I guess they're still, I guess they're scheming. I don't know what, I'm trying to remember. I guess he wants
Demira back.
Yeah, he wants Demira back. And I know on the other week, he more or less offered it to Gabi, and he's going to stay behind the scenes. But this time, I don't know, what were they talking much about? I know he wants Gabi. I think he wants Gabi to more or less seduce one of the other.
Yeah.
Or he didn't really say that, though. He just said he had to
That
play
didn't
fire. You have to start an arson or
implied
something.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was saying that Xander and Philip can't stand each other, and there's definitely something going on.
He wants to find out he feels if they could find out what the secret these two have and what the problem is, they could use it to their advantage. So, yeah, I think that's the only thing that when he was on was that, and with Gabi. But he just made a big impression with that yellow jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the jacket's still the same.
Yes.
Yeah. I gotta make one comment about that, or two. There's actually two comments. It didn't look like, but it reminded me of when Ian was having his first. He and Kate were having their first hotel, experience, and he came out in the gold robe. So maybe Bernie was having a flashback to that. Anyway,
Yeah.
but it didn't look like it otherwise. But as I was watching, I realized that it was 100% intentional because Gabby's dress had that same color within it. If you go back and watch, they actually
do that a lot.
blended. But at the because a lot of people were in grays and blacks and all. It was really pretty. A lot of the other characters.
They seem to do that.
Yeah,
Coordinate the
and
colors.
I like that.
Yeah.
But I thought. So did they get the jacket and then say she's got to find something that has that color in it, or did they have the dress and it's like somehow they need to blend? Let's get this enormous yellow jacket for Teo, Sir Tony.
I think Teo wears a lot of his own stuff.
I
Really.
think that's
all. Everything he wears is his own.
And he made a statement. You got to admit. Now, was that a sign that could be
statement? Yeah.
Now, is that a sign that it could be Andre or anything? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. He's playing it because I'm telling you, all over the boards out there, everyone thinks it's Andre. Yeah.
Well, and when
I don't know,
and when
he's playing it.
Somehow Kate came up at one point, didn't she? Didn't Gabi or somebody say something about Kate? And I saw his eye, he gave a look, and I was like, my gosh, could that be Andre thinking about his wife?
And even if it's not, he could still play it that way, hoping that maybe it would be. You know what I mean? That's what he has done over the years.
It gets people talking anyway.
It does, yeah.
And that jacket was a statement. I gotta say. So it's fine. But anyway, so those are my two comments about this.
So, but then Gabi went off, and I guess she has her own idea. She went and hired Steve, I guess, to investigate them. But I think as it goes on, I think she's going to try to seduce Xander. Did we see something? Yeah, I think she's going after Xander. I don't know if they're trying to put those two together and then Brady and Sarah together because we have Xander and Sarah. They really want to be together, but neither one of them can admit it.
Yeah.
That's what they
Then you got
played on.
the Gwen factor.
Yeah, do I really have to sign? Yeah, but he kind of like shut her down twice.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think him and Gabi could be good too. But
Yeah.
I liked him back in the day. I did like him and Gwen. I did, but I do like him and Sarah. I always liked him and Sarah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Raise of hands when Marlena said she wanted time with girl time with Rachel. So Brady's like, okay, I'll find something to do. I got raise of hands of who figured out that he was going to run into Sarah.
Of course, that one coming a mile.
I'm just amazed no coffee or lemonade was spilled on either of them when they got to the town center, because that's usually what happens when you're like about to be put together.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't see those two together either.
Be nice for him to have
yeah, he does
need
need
girlfriend for once.
He does need someone. I don't know who.
And she's saying,
yeah, I say go for it.
Which one's saying?
Sarah?
Sarah?
I guess we're back to that's a low bar.
There's no baby. Well, once in a while, but not as many
Sanity's
babies.
a low bar, I guess.
Yeah.
Anybody's saying compared to Kristen, so
that's
true.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I didn't want to like it because I love Xander and Sarah together, or Xander and Gwen, honestly. But I thought they had like a very authentic. I mean, Brady sounded smarter than he's sounded in years.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, new writers, or did he get a lobotomy? What's going on here? But he sounded like I really liked their vibe. They're, friends,
right?
But and of course, it's making Xander jealous already because they hugged at the end. But I actually thought at first I cringed when you guys said you thought that was going to happen, but I actually enjoyed their conversation, and I felt like they were both pretty emotionally healthy. And the friend vibe was there, but obviously we know there's going to be more. I just thought it was kind of refreshing, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
No,
as long as they don't put him with Kristen again.
Yeah, that ship has to sail.
It's
I think that ship has to sink.
That's true.
Forever.
Yeah, she's got to move on. I mean, she has to move on.
I don't know who, but I don't know.
And Julie runs into Gwen with her necklace on.
Just love Julie.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
With that. And then she went to the bookstore and met Foster and wanted to get a book for Marlena about grieving. And she's like, oh, I don't want the book you gave me. It's not going to work for her. I kind of need something else. And Foster's a very nice British gentleman, and he wants to sell his bookstore and move to, I think it was California, to be with his grandkids. So
he was adorable. Was he not?
Yeah, there's somebody for Julie.
Why has he been hiding in his bookstore?
Still somebody.
Why have we not seen him out in the town square or town center?
Yeah, I was concerned they were going to fix her up with him.
Yeah.
Too soon, though. Yeah,
but it looks like that's not the case. So, do you think Julie's going to own a bookstore?
I think so.
I'm sure that's what they were. Yeah, you can figure that out too. Yeah,
that's what it seemed like anyway.
And she'll be working at the bookstore, so that'll be another place people will go.
When Stephanie's book hits, I'm seeing a theme here.
Yeah,
when Stephanie sells her book in the bookstore, there's going to be all kinds of interesting things happening.
Yeah.
Security.
The church ladies will go crazy.
Let's say they'll probably make it a big deal.
Amy Choi's head will explode.
But Amy Choi was reading it, so.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
Well, of course.
No, I meant
the whole
exes are going to show up. The exes are going to show up at the bookstore. That's what I meant, not the.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like all the exes. They should have them all show up.
Oh my gosh.
Be crowded.
Like, can you sign this for me?
Well, that would be. Oh, can we flip to page 249? I would like you to initial that one for me, too.
Put a little heart on it and say, love Stephanie.
Of course, she's going to have a bag over her head because she's still got a
Yeah.
pseudonym, but no. Oh my gosh, this is all coming together now. They need to make the bookstore more convincing though, because there were a lot of color coordinated books on there that didn't
Yep.
look real. But that
Well-
kind of bugged me. But Julie will fix that if she buys it.
Mhm.
But
Sure.
yeah, that's what I see. I totally see. They wouldn't have created that set for
Of
nothing.
course. Yes, that came out of the blue. Never knew there was a
Wait, at
bookstore
least
there in my life in Salem.
it may have been plot driven to get there, but I did love the Foster scenes, and I
Yeah.
did love
Yeah, he was good.
Julie, and I did love that even though it's obvious what's going to happen here in a lot of ways, I did actually love that whole interaction, and that it was somewhat organic because Julie would want to do that for Marlena because she feels that heartbreak, and she knows Marlena's feeling it. So I thought all that was great, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and so Julie gives the book to Marlena and they hug. That was really sweet too.
Yes.
Well, I forgot. I was going to mention Gabi asking Steve to investigate. I didn't understand that because what's he going to figure out that, I mean, she's on the inside. She literally can just eavesdrop. So I didn't really get that. And Steve did object at first because it's Stephanie's
Justin.
boyfriend's family. Yeah. So I didn't understand that. I just thought she should at least tried it first and then tried to do that. And Marlena on Monday, she this cracks me up. This is like the least likely person I would go to about this. She went to Kayla to discuss the Queen of the Night dreams.
Yeah. Right out where anyone could hear.
Yeah, the devil back? No. That's what Kayla thought.
Well, technically, wasn't she there to see one of the other psychiatrists?
Yeah.
That she works with?
Yes. Yeah.
But Kayla started kind of asking questions, so she's like, "Well, okay, yeah."
Kayla's the most skeptical person on the show. She does not believe any of this, anything. And
Who?
Kayla, she's like
Yeah.
she's like the Dana Scully of Salem. She get abducted by aliens and impregnated, and she's like, nope, no alien, sorry. But yeah, but Kayla handled it well. But I would talk to someone with maybe who would actually believe her a bit more. Okay, who wants to talk about Johnny's trial?
Poor Roman.
Yeah. Well, EJ is getting mad at kind of coming down on Belle, but she was just doing her job just like he was doing his job, and she pointed that out to him. Yeah. Actually, they're both doing a good job.
Mhm.
I mean, EJ's pointing out that there's other possible suspects other than Johnny, pointing at Roman and Jada.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still don't understand the whole thing with Roman turning the gun in. That was just dumb.
Shouldn't he have gotten in trouble? Why wouldn't he have gotten in trouble for covering it up? Basically, he covered it up.
He covered it up.
Yeah.
You know,
But,
I mean,
when
it's your grandson, and
you're an ex-cop.
Yeah,
and having the gun is an important way to convict somebody.
And he admitted to tampering with evidence by cleaning the gun.
Yes.
He must have made a deal behind the scenes.
Wow.
He must have witnessed turned and nobody knows it.
Yeah, nobody's explaining that though. What say? Supposed to forget about that.
So do you think it's going to come out why Johnny was so triggered by EJ? Do you think they're going to go there and say, yeah, maybe Belle will do it? Say, hey, weren't you mad at your father because you found out that's the way you were conceived? You're a rape baby. Do you think Belle's going to play that card?
Well, and Sammy's coming into town.
But she's only on Monday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just to see Marlena. Yeah.
Do you think she's going to show up in the trial, though? No? Okay, I guess not. That's a bummer.
I don't know if they'll go there or not.
From what I've read,
her son
is on trial.
Is on trial for attempted
she
murder.
should be there.
But then Sammy's probably like, I've been there. It worked out okay. She's like, nothing new.
And we're still talking to Sydney off camera. She still has her broken leg, whatever. They still won't bring Sydney on. Still haven't cast her yet. I don't know why.
well, Sammy went to the death chamber, so I mean, things didn't go that well for her, really.
No.
But she was on trial. Actually, I think Johnny should have hired Sammy, but Sammy was pretty good as an attorney when she went up against Justin that one time. She was pretty brutal. Yeah, people are thinking that maybe this was filmed much earlier, and for some reason or another, they held it till now, but it didn't. I don't know. They're going to say Sammy is at the trial, but we don't see her. She's off screen. Like Leo, who's on the jury, and we have yet to see him in the actual jury box.
Where was Leo?
Have
Exactly.
you noticed how
I
small
thought
that
that.
courtroom is? It's much smaller than the picture behind you.
Yeah. Where's Leo?
Yeah.
There was like maybe 3 people's heads that we could see. Isn't it 12 people?
You know, as a local celebrity, all that stuff, you know that people will be lined up to get the seats for that. So it's really not. They just don't want to pay extras, I guess, to sit in those seats and stuff.
But if they're not speaking and they're just sitting there, I mean, seriously, they could have put the crew in there. I mean, what difference does that make?
Yeah.
And Leo would wear the loudest outfit he had. Just to draw attention to himself.
It was his day off that day. I don't know. Maybe you'll eventually see him on the jury. He has to be the foreman, right?
He has to be the foreman.
They probably won't even show deliberations. They won't even show that.
But do you guys think that it's going to come down to Rachel? Like, is something dramatic going to happen where she has a spontaneous memory from that night? Because Marlena asked her this week, like during her girls' night, when she was really just trying to talk to her about the trial, and try to help prepare her,
Sneaky,
tell the truth and all that. But what's that?
Sneaky grandma.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, if she were her grandma,
I was waiting for Rachel to say something.
That would be really not cool to say.
Yeah.
Leave your minor child with me, and you get lost, even though they're all family. It's like, that's not a good message to send. Anyway, but yeah, so she was like, you just need to be sure to tell the truth and all that. But I just wonder if something's going to be a breakthrough when she's up there, or if EJ is going to have a memory at some point.
I know. I think Rachel might remember something.
Yeah, I just have a feeling something's gonna.
Yeah.
I have a feeling something's gonna break out, and then it's gonna be a question of, was she coached into that, or did she come up with it, out of her own memory, or what? Because it would be not in discovery for the other team to see, the prosecutors to know if it happens spontaneously. But
we need to know soon.
We need to have this over.
Yeah.
It needs to be over.
We want to know, who was it?
It could have been anybody in that cast.
It could be anybody in Salem.
And why isn't Susan working on that instead of trying to find Stefano?
Yeah.
Well, she was supposed to. That's why Chanel brought her in.
I know, but she's not focusing.
Yeah.
Well, she's
getting these vibes.
Yes.
Stefano vibes.
Yeah, so what do you think the vibes are? What's Susan picking up on in regards to Stephanie?
I don't know. And Marlena, too, she's getting bad vibes.
I'm thinking it's Andre.
Maybe it's Andre.
And then Rita,
Dr. Rolfe
said she felt like he was there. Like, she knows intellectually he's not there, but like, she said, I think about him a lot, and I feel his presence sometimes.
Yeah.
She says, but you have to realize he'd be almost 100 years old at this point if he did live. And Rolfe did, even though Rolfe is good at preserving people, it's like there's limits to that. But they're definitely all talking about it. And then that's probably, of course, I don't know if somebody wants to talk about the elevator, but I knew the minute they got locked in there together, I was like, okay, they're going to talk about Stefano.
Couldn't it just crash to the bottom and no more Chad? Billy Flynn's gone anyway, but no more Chad, no more Chad.
One thing, Jack supposedly died, or at one point died.
That's true.
And then what was her name? Bonnie.
Bonnie fell down.
Harmed.
Yeah.
So there's legit reasons, and honestly, EJ, his own brother's stuck in there, and he's just like, you would think as a lawyer, he would, even if he just wanted to tell Sarah to go pound sand, the fact that she calls him and alerts him to the fact that this has happened, and of course they cancel the elevator maintenance and just are going to pay them, I guess, whenever they need him to come over, whatever. That's a huge liability issue, and they should. He as a lawyer should.
But they have to spend the night there together, right?
Yeah. Of course, we don't know what EJ's big plans are for the hospital either.
He has big plans. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, did you notice they had a little bit of a rewrite? EJ and Marita were talking about Stefano. And I thought Hope really did kill Stefano. And yes. And
I was like, you're right. I was
Yeah.
like, where did that come from? I
Yeah,
don't remember that.
yeah, and they had Shane dress up as Stefano,
Mm-hmm.
and basically he was in a jail cell or something. I thought I can't remember what the whole storyline was. I thought maybe it was kind of like to make Hope feel a little better, but she didn't know it was Shane. But he's saying, yeah, Stefano got shot. Dr. Rolf just took him and took care of him until he died. But he didn't reach out to his family. That literally makes no sense.
Right.
Why not just
I'm
leave
glad
it?
you pointed that out because I'd never heard that story.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like the whole storyline to begin with. Hope being the one to shoot and kill him, that never made
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That like kind of destroyed the character for me.
Yeah. I mean, it should have been, I would say, John, Roman, or Marlena probably should have been the ones
Mm-hmm.
one of the ones
A
to
lot
kill.
more history there. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more history than Hope being mad about Bo. Yeah, so, alrighty. But there was a little bit about the baby storyline. I guess Tate and Holly got back together. So, and Sarah confronted Sophia. Does anybody want to
Yeah.
talk about
Yep.
Yeah.
that?
Nino.
You want me to? Or
Go ahead,
somebody
sweetie.
else?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, Sophia was curled up in her room with that teddy bear. She's really sad, you can tell, and trying to fight it off. And her mom comes in and says, "You've been in here forever. You need to come out of your room." And it was really poignant because Sophia said, she's like, "Your dad and I are really hurt by, she kind of went after her a little bit with, well, we're devastated that we're never going to see our grandbaby, for at least see her and hold her." And, just kind of went off and, on her. And Tate was already trying to get her to update him. And he's kind of panicked. And I love that they're playing it that this, even though he and Holly got back together, that he's really devastated about it. I'm glad he's not just like, "Oh, well, no big deal. I'm rid of that situation." He really is sick about it. But anyway, so they did, Amy and she did have a kind of a sweet conversation because she says, "You know what, Mom? The only person you're not listening is me. You're worried about you're worried about Dad, you're worried about Tate. What do you think I'm going through? How do you think I'm feeling right now? I just had to I just gave away my baby, and now I know that it was for the best for him." And she went him, her.
Yeah. She caught
She
herself.
almost said him, and she caught herself, so that was key. And so then her mom was like, "You should just know, like, I mean, I understand, like, when you have a child, it's like your heart's on the outside. You're just exposed constantly to the potential of your heart being crushed because you're just
Yep.
love your child so much." And she said, "And that goes for you too. I love you. You are my child." And I'm like, "What?" So anyway, so that was really sweet. And then she felt her and said, "You're a little warm." She's like, "Oh, I'm fine, Mom." And she's like, "No, you can have an infection or something. You need to be seen by a doctor." And she kind of fought with her a little bit about it. And she finally said, "I'm the mom. I'm taking you to the doctor." And so you started to say Sarah was the doctor that got her. And that was perfect too, because
Yep.
then
Sarah knew.
Sarah basically they were trying, she said, "Well, your uterus has shrunk more than I would have thought it would at this stage." And so she started prying with her a little bit. I would have expected it to not to have shrunk that far for just having given birth a day or 2 days ago or whatever. And so that started making Sophia squirm. And then and she says, "I already know that it was a boy, not a girl." And she's like, her eyes deer caught in the headline. And then she's like, "So I already know you're lying to me. So the fact that you're also saying you gave birth when you did, when I don't think you did, is leading me to believe there's some other things going on here." And of course, when they started the conversation, before they got into any of that, Sophia was like, "I know with, like, you can't tell my mom anything, whatever." And she says, "I know, there are laws against that and all." And so I love that scene because Sarah was like, after she started pushing her a bit pushing back on some things, Sophia was like, "Well, you still can't tell anyone because,"
Yep.
and she goes, "Well, no, actually, I can. Essentially, I'm required to report if I feel like if I know of a potential of a child being in an unsafe situation or having been placed in an unsafe situation or whatever." And so she said, actually, that trumps the patient doctor confidentiality. And so, anyway, so So basically, Sophia's like, okay, I'll tell you everything, but you can't tell my mom. So, or you can't say it to anybody. And so so off camera, she told her everything that happened. And so Sarah now knows everything for sure. And I don't know what's going to happen with that information, but I know that Sarah regrets having hid her child. You know, she's done this a few times herself. So I think she probably feels like some sense that Tate at least should know or whatever. But so anyway, is that what you were and then Amy came in and they said, oh, she's okay, she just needs to rest. She doesn't seem to have an infection, but she needs to rest. And so that was about that, I think. That's part of, and then of course Tate and Holly, you mentioned they got back together, or they were already back together kind of, but they kind of solidified that. But he was clearly down in the dumps and he's clearly panicking because Sophia's not returning his texts. And he's like, have you heard anything else from the adopted parents? Have you got any other pictures or, any updates or anything? So he's really kind of frantic at this point about that. So anyway.
Yes, and Holly, of course, no surprise, decided she's not going to France.
Yeah.
No surprise there.
Yeah.
She said Nicole and Eric are okay. And
because you're here, Tate, that's why.
Yeah.
How many women are thinking, I put my dreams on hold for an idiot I didn't even stay with?
No. You'll regret this, Holly.
Oh.
Go to Paris.
Yep.
And speaking of Sarah, she has a good moment with Xander, and clearly they're still in love, and then he gives her the legal separation papers to sign, and he gave the baby back to her because the baby wanted her mom. But then Sarah does something stupid. She decides she's going to carry a toddler and a stroller down 6 flights of stairs.
Yeah, really? Please. She carried that stroller and a toddler.
Yeah.
The toddler in the stroller, that little bitty thing that she is, down 6 flights of stairs. Really?
With no other elevators in that whole house.
And she hardly even broke a sweat. Come on.
She was
out of breath.
She was winded. Yes, for sure.
Another thing we did learn from Holly that apparently Eric and Nicole are in a better place now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's all. I guess they had to have a reason for Eric to be back for John's funeral without Holly. I mean, without Nicole.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but that was mentioned too.
Oh, so how did you like Chad and Kat's game of Never Have I Ever? And Chad brings up Linda, was it, and what the hell was his drag name?
Melinda?
Yes.
Linda in the China shop?
Was it Belinda?
Like
or I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be like a play on words for a bull in the China shop, and he said Belinda in the China shop.
Belinda, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a good one. So I appreciate that old story.
And of course, Kat is listening intently to the story about how Susan thinks Stefano's still alive because she is now partnered with Rafe as an ISA agent, which I didn't even realize that Rafe was in the ISA. I thought he had gotten hired back by the FBI. So
that's what I thought.
It's the FBI. She's helping with
So now those two brain trusts are working together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that piqued her curiosity.
I'm telling you, that's perfect.
Yeah, put them together.
And doesn't she act ditzier when she's with Chad than when she was with Rafe?
She's just ditzy the whole time. Anytime she talks, she's ditzy.
I do think Chad makes her nervous, though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, So their scenes were kind of fun. I mean, I didn't really feel any chemistry watching them, but like there were some cute comments or whatever, but I didn't feel that like, oh, there's a spark, there's zero spark. But so I kept thinking, when is she going to pull out her spy skills and get him out of there with some sort of like, and he's like, how did you do that? Like, she knew an awful lot about how not to get out of an elevator. So that was a little tip off there. But
she was going to share a mint with him.
And now we know that
it dropped on the floor.
Now we know why she was good at why she was so into skydiving, because she probably had to jump out of planes or something as an ISA.
But she was an analyst, though.
Yeah.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah.
Chad was more afraid than she was.
Yeah.
He was panicking.
I
Okay.
was with Chad on that one. If I were enclosed in that like that, yeah.
Yeah, considering your father-in-law fell down an elevator shaft. Yeah.
Right.
It's funny, but I do make a point of going to the bathroom before I get on an elevator if I get out.
Literally, that was one of the first things I thought of when they
My
got
goodness.
walked in there. What if they were thinking, "Oh, I'll just wait till I get home to pee," and then they're like stuck in the elevator?
Guess you just pee
That
your
would be
pants.
me.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Crap."
You just pee your pants.
Yeah, I totally recommend. I think it's a good practice for everybody. Go to the bathroom before you go on the
That's a good
elevator.
one. Good thought.
Yeah. So we had a
Take
surprise
the
actor.
steps.
Yeah. And we had an actor we found out quit this week. The actor who played Javi quit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. The recast.
He finally grew on me. At
I
first, I didn't
know.
like him, but he really grew on me.
Yeah.
But sounds like he's got a good gig. So
Yeah.
Hey, Marianne, do you know how far out there are right now? Like how far into 2026?
I think they're like almost 9 months ahead.
Ugh.
Yeah. Pretty sure. I don't know. Too far. Way too far.
Yes. So to wrap up, I'm talk about the spoilers for next week. So Sammy's only on one episode. It's Monday, and they say she comes back in November. So all that hype, all that press she did, it's literally one episode. Yes.
Yeah. Whenever Sammy comes back, it's a big deal.
And Anna and Tony are on next week, and Anna wants
Yay.
something about Stefano. So that's a spoiler about those two. EJ calls for a mistrial, saying Bell had a conflict of interest, which is obviously was part of his ploy from the very beginning. Looks like Johnny takes the stand too. Gabi kisses Xander, and Sarah kisses Brady. So a lot of kissing going on next week.
can I make one comment real quick about Gwen?
Yes.
Gwen. Yeah.
Julie got catty about the necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen went off about, oh, and if you think I'm gonna miss not having my own Christmas ornament, tiny little Christmas stupid Horton tree or something like that. Like, what are you gonna do? Not let me have a, I don't know. It was just cute.
An ornament. Yeah.
Funny the way she said it.
Well, that was. I mean, I love their rivalry. I mean,
Yeah.
keep it going.
Yeah, they're great. We need to have more of that.
Emily O'Brien had on her Instagram. She had her 40th birthday, and she had like a Victorian era party. Yeah, it was crazy.
Only 40.
It looks legit crazy, but fun. Yeah. So yeah, it goes on her Instagram. I recommend just to check out her birthday pictures. That was interesting thing. Yep. So anybody have anything else to add?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't think. No.
Alrighty. Well,
Yeah.
thanks everyone. And like I said, like, subscribe, share, do your thing. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Next week.
Take care, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks everyone.
Night.
Okay.